My name's Jessica Colucci, and I'm going to talk about the idea testing for the product that me and my group came up with. So, overall, the product is basically about sustainability in the fashion industry. So, it is a major problem that's going on. That's a constant thing that the companies are dealing with and places all over the world are dealing with. Specifically, the product is about how ethical the clothing items are. So, to kind of be more specific on the customer standpoint, I wanted to focus on more about how the customer felt about the items. So, there is an idea that me and the group came up with about a grading system. So the items would be graded, the garments or shoes or jewelry would be graded from A plus to F minus on how sustainable they are. So this would include how the items were created. So with dyes being polluted and the manufacturing and the cotton industry would play into that, and also who created the clothes. So how ethical the items were created, who created them, if they were paid a living wage, if they were forced to work long hours, if there was child labor, everything like that. So that would play into how the item would be graded. So obviously A plus would be the most sustainable and the most ethical. F minus would be the least. So my goal is to create a tag that is on every garment in the fashion industry that displays how sustainable the item is. This would then persuade or give the information to the customer about how this item is affecting our world and the climate. So my testing goals, it was to ask other people about how important sustainability is to them when shopping. It is also important to look at country of origin and to see whether or not they would purchase the item if it was an A plus or F minus. So when I surveyed people for this specific project, I surveyed my family members, which was my parents and my two sisters, and then my boyfriend. And so I asked them these questions, and they all said that they would be more likely to purchase an item that was graded highly versus on a low grading. So it shows the importance that they take on how sustainable their products are. They want people to be treated ethically. They want people to be paid fairly and for items to be created sustainably. So another thing I wanted to mention was in my last class, I took a fashion marketing class. Me and my partner did a project where we focused on sustainability in the fashion industry. So I ended up doing a survey. This was a few months back, and I did a survey about sustainability and how important it was. So I did it through Qualtrics, and I sent the survey out to about 60 people. And I wanted to share some of the data that I got from that because it pertains to this project that I'm currently working on in this class. So one of the questions I asked was, when shopping for clothing, how important is sustainability to you? So majority of the people put very important or moderately important. So when I was testing people, it would be graded from extremely important to not important at all. And majority of the people put it was very important or moderately important, and not as many put not as important. Only 4 people put not as important. So that just goes to show that people are looking for sustainable products, and it is important to them when shopping. And I think that it would really open their eyes to see where these products come from, because they could be not knowing about a certain item. Let's say you purchase it from Forever 21. You don't know where it comes from. You don't know how it was made. You just assume that it was okay. So I think it would bring awareness to customers that find these items important. And I think it would convince companies and businesses to be more sustainable if they had this grading system, so that they would be graded higher, because that would increase their sales and increase just their branding overall, and their company morals and values. So another question I asked was, if you were made aware that a brand is sustainable, how likely are you going to purchase these items? So over 30 people put moderately likely, and then over 15 put extremely likely. Only a couple people put slightly likely, or neither likely or unlikely. So this shows you that people are looking for sustainable products. I think that climate change and the issues that are going on globally with our environment is a really big issue that people are starting to realize they need to take action in. And I think that this is a great start to just trying to help out one of the worst industries for polluting the environment. Another question I asked was, do you think that current fashion retailers are doing enough to lower their impact on the environment? And everybody said, no, businesses are not doing enough compared to, yes, they are doing enough. So that just shows you that people are looking out there for sustainable businesses, and they don't think that the businesses out there are doing enough. There's effort that's being put in, but it could be more. With the resources and money that huge companies have, they could be better. They could be better at sustainable practices. So overall, like I said, my family said that these items would be important to them. The grading system would be something that they would look into when shopping. And it's important for people to be treated fairly, to have a living wage. It's important for these items to be created sustainably and not be polluting towards the environment. And they were very comfortable with telling me their responses because they were my family members and my boyfriend. So we are open, and they were very open to explaining why they felt like that. And I just think in the future, the only way I would be able to know if this process or this product would work would be to test it in real life. So what I would like to do is to have a store where items are labeled from A to F, and to see who purchases the items, how often the items are purchased, because someone can say, oh yeah, I would like to purchase more ethical things, but then they could see, a really cute shirt that's cheaper and graded an F and be like, oh, well, no one knows if I buy if it's an F, so I'm just going to buy it because I like it. So it really just depends on the person. I think that my family cares about the environment, so I think that they would be more prone to picking an A. But I know that there's other people out there that it's not very important to them. So I think that they wouldn't really care either or when purchasing garments or shoes or jewelry. So like I said, in the future, I would like to have a store and test this to see if it would work, or if it would convince businesses to maybe be more ethical in their ways of creating garments for the fashion industry. So thank you again for listening, and leave your feedback. Thank you.